Hey guys, the Portrait here. This is going to be kind of an advice, unboxing and reviewing video. I think it's important given how many of you want a career in art or want to make some extra money on the side with art. And the truth is, opportunity-wise, by number, jobs involve digital related art beats purely traditional physical art. So to be clear, even though this is probably obvious to some of you, I'm saying the number of artistic jobs that requires you to have decent digital art knowledge exceed the ones that don't. Obviously, by digital knowledge, I don't just mean how to use a computer, but knowledge in using software and hardware to edit, design, or render artistic imagery. I'm not talking about educational approach. I'm not saying if you are a new artist, you should just jump on a computer tablet and completely ignore traditional media. In fact, most pros in the art industry, no matter what they do, has started with traditional media. And most of them are very good at both. Because the truth is, if you know how to draw and paint, you can transition between media fairly easily. And it would be pretty silly to ignore one of the largest growing area in the art industry. Not to mention so many large industries that it's growing like crazy that requires digital artists, aka gaming. Plus, at pretty much every point in time, artists have been using the most advanced technology available to them, and it always eventually becomes the norm. Oil painting replaced fresco and tempera, which at the time a lot of people were like, hey, that's cheating, you can work in layers with oil. Okay, so this video is about one of the most common hardware in working with digital art, which is a drawing tablet, more precisely a display drawing tablet. So I have decent experience, well I like to think I have decent experience with physical media and a little experience with digital tablet, which takes some time to get used to because you have to look away from your hand as you draw. The next best thing is of course a display drawing tablet. Problem is price. The gold standard of display drawing tablet, which is the Wacom Cintiq line, that I still recommend if you can afford it easily. I hate you, but you should get it if money is not an issue. If you are sitting in front of a 27 or 32 inch Wacom Cintiq, then I really hate you. I just want to make that part clear, okay? I'm cursing you right now. In 3 languages, Chinese, English, and the universal language of art. 4 if you count Australian. Now for us common folks who are not worthy, I am interested in an alternative at a fraction of the price. And based on a lot of reviews everywhere, especially on YouTube, the GT-191 by Huion seems to worth a try. But note that when videos are sponsored and companies give free products for review or compensate the creator in any way, the video creator have to tell you that. They have to disclose that. This is standard practice and most creators have strong integrity. The reputation of their trustworthiness is really important. This video, however, is not sponsored. I didn't get anything. I just want a good display, a tablet, and while I'm at it, might as well let you guys know how it is. Because it is pretty bare bone at the price, I also added near the end some tips for some accessories you can get that pretty much will push this tablet to the next level if it functions well. Lastly, before I dive into the unboxing, I just want a quick note regarding commissions, individual commissions. It is not super reliable unless you have a large following or you had the experience and time to build up connections. There are so many people in the world who will do what you do for 1/10 of the price, so the competition can be tough unless you have some kind of advantage. It is certainly doable, but you need patience and certain good strategies. Alright, so here is... This is Huion GT-191. Alright, let's see what's inside this box. Wow, my camera is really good at focusing. Oh, never mind, it's getting better. First thing I noticed, it came with 2 pieces of... Ow, my hand is cut and is a little bit numb still. Pretty hard cord to protect the product, which is nice. Especially for me, because you know me, I can use that as a canvas. I can actually draw something on that. On top of that, you get all the typical protection. There is a side box that I took out in the past, just to make sure I have all the cables in there. Alright, let's see what's in here. Ah, it's a stand. It's a stand. Whoa. Whoa, that looks way more complicated than it is, but it's nice though. I like it. I'm assuming you can just pull this. Yeah. You can just pull this and you can adjust the angle, so you can just put the tablet on there. Cool. What else does it have? It came with its own screwdriver, which is really nice. And here we have, what the hell is this? Oh, this is a charging thing for the pen, for the drawing pen. Unlike the Wacom, this is one of the advantages of Wacom. Wacom doesn't require the pen itself to be electrically charged, but this one requires the pen to be charged also. So we have that, and this I really like. They give you two of the pen to use in case you lose one. Like the Wacom, I just the Wacom tablet pen. I broke my pen a few days ago, and to replace it cost me $60. And this thing give you two of them. Come right out of the box. So that I appreciate very much. Cable. Alright, we have USB. Not USB, what am I talking about? HDMI cable. Most of the computers you got within the last few years will be able to support from 2 to 4 monitors. And this thing is basic to anybody who is not sure what a joint tablet monitor is. It's basically a glorified monitor with touch sensitivity that's finely tuned with the pen. That's all it is. It's really just like another monitor, basically. So, okay, HDMI cable, great. That's the monitor itself. You're like, oh no, really? Let's see what's in this box here. Part of the power cable. The other part of the power. Wait, this is USB cable that you use. It's a USB-B, not a micro B, which is the type that you typically use in your phone. This is just a type B, so you may not have a spare off, so don't lose it, obviously. You're like, no, I plan to lose it. I'm not sure why this computer comes with a super old VGA cable. Don't use this unless you have to, okay? Like what? Is this 5 years ago? I'm surprised they actually include this. But you don't need this. You shouldn't need this or use this. Okay, use the HDMI cable if you can. And this is the power cable, the other half of the power cable, and the little part of the pen. So I'm gonna open one of the pen up to show you. This is very similar to Wacom. They obviously do copy a lot of the design from Wacom. You basically have all these little stubs that you can, the tips that you can replace because they do get worn out over time. And you can probably rest the pen in there. I'm guessing you can. Yeah, you can rest the pen in there, which is perfect for my amazing pencil holder. It's crazy, I know. So I can just put that in there and I can put the pen on top of that. Alright, and let's take out the main monitor. Okay, my Wacom Intuos tablet has around 2000 something sensitivity level. This is supposed to have 8000 something, so I'm not sure if I can tell the difference. I have to test it out. You can actually see my setup a little bit. It's basically something that's tied into a pole that's pointing straight down. Another thing I want to point out, this thing came with a free hand glove thingy. That's the professional name. It makes your hand move around on the screen much more smoothly. 2, it protects the screen from the oil that's on your skin. And this whole thing is about $500. I got it for $400 through a special sale. So now I'm going to set this whole thing up and see how it works. I'm also going to do a drawing as a test. Okay, I have it hooked up. It seems to work, but I noticed an issue. All the cables are coming out directly towards the bottom. So if you put on the stand, it can kind of squeeze the cable. I even tried different orientations. You can feed the cable through the stand or the side, but both methods bends the cable, which is not ideal. But luckily I found this, which I bought years ago. It's a monitor arm, so that problem is solved for me. Okay, let's talk about drivers. Do not use the drivers that came with the tablet. Go to their website and download the latest version. And of course, once you install the drivers, use the software to go through the calibration process to make sure your pen is accurate. You probably should also go through the calibration process for color, contrast, brightness, and all that. One thing I noticed about this display is that its ability to display very dark output is slightly limiting, which means even at the highest contrast, darkest setting, the purest black it can output is still slightly brighter compared to what a high-end monitor can achieve. But I feel like I'm just nitpicking here. You wouldn't notice it during an average environment. Everything else seems to be pretty good. I couldn't find any particular issues with brightness, vibrancy, color accuracy, and all that, assuming you calibrated the colors decently. I noticed a bug at first with Photoshop regarding the cursor. Basically, where the cursor is accurate from the cursor and the tablet's perspective, but the Photoshop seems to draw in a completely different location. So there is this weird offset effect going on. But I fixed it by setting this tablet to the primary monitor. From what I read online, a lot of tablets have had this problem with Photoshop and only Photoshop. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a problem that's going to be fixed in a future driver, either via Photoshop update or the tablet. But for now, the primary monitor solution is not too bad. And apparently it doesn't happen to everybody. And lastly, one of the things that I really miss, which this tablet does not have, is the function keys and the scoring wheel, which my Wacom had. So I just bought this little device here, which basically allows me to wirelessly control and perform all the functions that I need. I can change the size of the cursor on the fly, program all the keys to whatever function that I want them to do. So with that combined, this is basically, it feels like it's a higher end device. The pen glides on the surface pretty okay, and it feels like my Wacom, and you can adjust the sensitivity level. So now I'm going to do a more polished drawing, and maybe I'll stream a bit with this thing here and there. Of course, I only had it for 2 days, so a few weeks maybe I'll give it an update if there's something that went horribly wrong. But for the price, if this thing is able to hold up against the test of time, then I have to admit it's a pretty good buy, So yeah, I'm gonna play the video of my drawing, and any questions regarding anything, just leave them in the comments. Also leave in the comments any future topics you want me to focus on. Alright, so I did this pretty quick drawing to get a real experience of the tablet. The subject is made up, that's why all the features are pretty standard. And here are a few impressions. 1. I really like this change of drawing on the display tablet. This shouldn't be a surprise, it's just so intuitive. 2. The pressure sensitivity is good and does what I expect it to do. Although to be honest, I don't know if I can tell the difference between 8000 something pressure level versus 2000 that my Wacom provided. A lot of people reviewed this tablet says, wow, like 8000 pressure sensitivity just makes it feel so much better, and that they definitely notice a difference. I can't help but wonder how much of that is placebo effect, how well they will do in a blind test, or more likely they're just plainly more sensitive and better than me due to their experience and my lack of experience with digital stuff. Lastly, this is a negative, but it's not a huge deal that would hinder what you are trying to do or slow down the workflow. And it's probably something a more physical artist will be more sensitive about and probably just needs some getting used to. The pen is very smooth when it glides over the screen. I wish there is a bit more resistance and friction, so I feel like I'm drawing a little bit on paper rather than smooth plastic over smooth plastic. I hear certain screen protectors has a texture that can help, and some companies like Wacom have pen tips that is kind of paper textured. It has a rougher feel to it. So I think a combo of good screen protector and a rougher pen tip can be a good remedy, but it's probably not a problem once I get used to it. Alright, thanks a lot guys for watching, and I say again, I freaking love traditional physical art, and a lot of its intrinsic value can never be replaced. I'm just saying, the digital age is here and it causes extreme changes in everything, visual art included. As an artist, on average, it's better that you know something about it and is able to include it in your toolkit, because whether you like it or not, it's gonna get bigger. And these are just tools. A good artist and skill is still the king. For now at least, ominous AI sound. Like I mentioned before, let me know what you think and what type of contents you guys want to see, and I will try to make it happen. As always, a big thanks to my subscribers and my patrons for keeping this channel going. And until next time, cheers!